Welcome to my channel. Subscribe and enjoy my new stories every day. The late afternoon sun filtered through the window, casting a warm glow in our living room. I glanced at the clock on the wall. Valerie should have been home by now. The rhythmic tick-tock was a constant reminder of her absence, and with every tick, a knot tightened in my stomach. I tried to shake off the feeling. It was just a busy day, I reassured myself. But when the doorbell rang, a strange sense of dread washed over me. I opened the door to find a small package sitting on the doormat, addressed to Valerie. I picked it up, weighing it in my hands. It felt oddly heavy for its size. Curiosity piqued, I took it inside and set it on the kitchen counter, eyeing it like it was a ticking bomb. There was no return address, just her name neatly printed on the front. As I pulled out a knife from the drawer to slice the tape, I hesitated. What if it was something personal? A surprise gift? Maybe it was a little something for our anniversary, which was just around the corner. But as I carefully opened the box, a sense of foreboding crept in. Inside lay a beautiful, flowing red dress, the kind that could make any woman feel like a queen. It was stunning, yet it felt out of place in our mundane lives. Beneath the dress, I found a note, elegantly written in flowing script, "For you, my love. Waiting on you tonight at the last night restaurant." My heart sank as I read the signature beneath, John, her boss. I stumbled back, nearly knocking over a chair. My hands trembled as I processed the words. A wave of anger and disbelief washed over me. How could she? My mind raced with images of Valerie laughing, flirting, and perhaps even more, with him. I had trusted her implicitly, believing she was dedicated to our marriage. The very idea of her being unfaithful was a dagger to my heart. I could feel my fists clenching as a boiling rage bubbled to the surface. I had to confront her, but first, I needed to think. I couldn't let my emotions cloud my judgment. My heart was racing as I replayed moments from the past weeks, the late nights at work, the vague excuses, the unaccounted time. Each memory morphed into a betrayal, and the weight of it felt suffocating. Valerie, I muttered under my breath, as I felt the anger turn into a cold determination. This was no ordinary betrayal, it was an open declaration of her infidelity, a slap in the face. I decided then that I would get back at her. I couldn't let this stand, she had to understand the gravity of her actions. I took the dress and the note and placed them on the dining table. I would make her feel the weight of her decisions, just as I felt the weight of this betrayal. It was time to set my plan in motion. The evening came and went, with Valerie finally walking through the door around 10 o'clock. She looked surprised to find me waiting for her, the dress still prominently displayed on the table. "What's this?" she asked, her voice tinged with a mix of curiosity and confusion. I leaned back in my chair, my arms crossed, and watched her with a calm exterior that barely masked the storm brewing inside. "Just something that arrived for you today," I said, nodding toward the dress. "I thought you might want to explain." Her eyes widened as she processed the situation. "Don't bother," I interrupted, my voice low but firm. "I've already read the note, and I can guess who it's from. So tell me, how long has this been going on?" She opened her mouth, but no words came out. The color drained from her face, and I could see panic creeping into her eyes. I could feel a sense of satisfaction at having caught her off guard. I didn't mean for you to find out this way," she stammered, her voice barely a whisper. "It's complicated." "Complicated?" I echoed, incredulous. "This isn't complicated, Valerie. You've made your choice, and it's clear where your loyalties lie. You've been cheating on me with your boss." The words felt like a weight being lifted off my chest, but they also felt like the beginning of something dark. "I can explain," she started again, but I cut her off. "I don't want to hear your excuses," I snapped, the anger rising again. "You've already made your choice, and now I will make mine." I knew then that the road ahead would be difficult and painful, but I was resolved. I would ruin her fate, just as she had ruined ours. As she stood there, stunned and speechless, I felt a chilling resolve settle in. This wasn't just about revenge, it was about reclaiming my life from the ashes of betrayal. The confrontation had just begun, and I would not rest until she felt the full weight of her deceit. The thrill of retribution surged through me as I prepared for what was to come. The air between us feels electric, thick with unspoken accusations and a tension that's palpable. Valerie stands frozen, her face a canvas of shock and regret, while my heart pounds like a war drum. The night stretches on, each second dragging into eternity as I process the betrayal unfolding before me. Tell me the truth, Valerie, I demand, rising from my chair. How long has this been going on? She shifts uncomfortably, her eyes darting away from mine as if the truth is something she can avoid with a glance. It's not what you think, she finally whispers, her voice trembling. Then what is it? You received a dress from your boss, with a note telling you he's waiting for you tonight. What am I supposed to think? My frustration boils over, and I take a step closer, my fists clenched at my sides. You've betrayed me, and you stand there acting like I'm the crazy one. She starts, but I can see the words are stuck in her throat. She looks at the dress, the crimson fabric now a vivid reminder of her infidelity. I didn't mean for it to happen, okay? John, he's been there for me. We've been working late, and it just happened. So you think that makes it okay? I bark, my voice rising. You think you can justify this because he was supportive at work? What about us, Valerie? What about the vows we made? Her expression shifts from shock to anger. You think I wanted this? You're always busy with work, always distracted. I felt alone. I never meant for it to go this far. Alone? Is that really your excuse? I laugh bitterly. You chose to sleep with him instead of talking to me. You could have come to me with your feelings, but no, you went behind my back. Her hands tremble at her sides, and I see tears brimming in her eyes. I made a mistake. Can't we just talk about this? Talk. I scoff, pacing the room like a caged animal. You think talking will fix this? You've shattered my trust, Valerie. What do you think is left to salvage? I'm sorry, she pleads, her voice breaking. I'll end things with him. I promise. Just give me a chance to make this right. The vulnerability in her voice stabs at my heart, but the anger still surges through me like a wildfire. How can I believe you? You've already made your choice. Do you think I can just forget this? It's not that easy. I feel the heat of rage boiling in my chest, but I also sense the weight of despair creeping in. I don't want to lose her, but I can't accept the betrayal either. My resolve begins to harden. Maybe I should have seen this coming, I say, my voice dropping to a low growl. You've changed. You've become someone I don't even recognize. And now I find out you're sleeping with your boss. How do I know it won't happen again? I love you, she exclaims, desperation painting her words. I never meant for it to go this far. Love? I spit out the word like a bitter poison. You have a funny way of showing it. Love isn't something you toss aside for a night of fun with a coworker. Valerie steps forward, her eyes wide with pleading. Please, let's not throw everything away. I can fix this. I swear I'll make it up to you. I shake my head, a cold finality settling over me. You had your chance. I've made my decision too. The look of betrayal in her eyes mirrors my own pain, but I stand firm. I'm going to ruin you just like you ruined me. What does that even mean? She stammers, her voice laced with fear. I lean in, lowering my voice to a whisper, I'm going to make sure everyone knows what you did. Your friends, your family, your boss. Everyone will see you for who you truly are, a cheat. Her face pales, and the tears spill over as she backs away, shocked. You wouldn't. That's cruel. Cruel. You think what you did to me isn't cruel? You've turned our lives into a twisted joke, Valerie. You've opened the floodgates of hell, and now I'm going to make sure you drown in it. With that, I turn my back on her and storm toward the bedroom. I can hear her soft sobs behind me, and a part of me aches at the sound, but the anger keeps me moving forward. I refuse to look back. I begin formulating a plan in my mind. It will require precision, timing, and a calculated approach, but I'm determined. I'll gather evidence, reach out to her friends, and ensure everyone knows about her affair. She needs to feel the sting of betrayal she inflicted on me. The next day, I start my plan. I keep my distance from Valerie, barely speaking to her as she moves around the house like a ghost. I can see the guilt etched on her face, but it does little to sway my resolve. Each time I glance at her, I feel the anger rekindle, fueling my purpose. I decide to start with her friends, those closest to her. I draft an anonymous message detailing the affair, ensuring it's succinct yet impactful. The thrill of the impending fallout races through me, giving me a dark satisfaction. As the day drags on, I can feel the anticipation building inside me. I will make her pay for her choices. This is just the beginning, and I can't wait to see the chaos unfold. The intrigue is alive, and the game of retribution has only just begun. The days drag on, heavy with tension and the weight of unspoken words. Valerie and I share the same space, but it feels like we're worlds apart. The house, once filled with laughter and warmth, is now a battlefield of silence and lingering resentment. Each time I see her, my anger reignites, reminding me of the betrayal festering in my chest. I've spent the past few days planning my revenge, and it's consuming my thoughts. I finalize the anonymous message to her friends, crafting the perfect words to ensure they understand the depth of her betrayal. The thrill of anticipation pulses through me as I prepare to send it out. One evening, I decide to set my plan into motion. I sit at the kitchen table, staring at my phone, fingers hovering over the screen as I prepare to hit send. Just then, Valerie walks in, her hair falling over her face, as she absently scrolls through her own phone. "Hey," she says, trying to break the silence. "What are you doing?" I keep my eyes on the screen, pretending to be absorbed in my task. "Just sending a message." "A message to who?" she asks, moving closer to get a glimpse of my phone. "None of your business," I snap, my irritation flaring. I hit send before I can think twice, the message disappearing into the digital ether. She looks hurt but presses on. "Is it about me? You know you can talk to me, right? We can work this out." "Work what out?" I fire back, my voice rising. "You think this is something we can just fix? You've shattered my trust. You've shattered us." "I know," she replies, her voice softening, but the sincerity is tinged with desperation. "I made a mistake, and I'm so sorry. Can't you give me a chance?" I shake my head, anger flooding my veins again. "You don't get to decide that anymore. You lost your chance when you decided to sleep with your boss." Her eyes brim with tears, and for a moment, I feel a flicker of guilt. But then I remember the dress, the note, the betrayal, and that flicker is extinguished. "You have no idea how much I regret it," she whispers, her voice cracking. I push past her, needing space, feeling suffocated by her presence. "I need to think," I say, my voice strained as I retreat to the living room. The silence weighs heavy as I pace back and forth, feeling the anger simmering just beneath the surface. A few moments later, I hear her footsteps behind me. "Please, don't do this. You're only hurting yourself by holding on to this anger." I whirl around to face her. "You think this is about me? You're the one who hurt us. I'm going to make sure everyone knows what kind of person you are." Her expression morphs from desperation to something more resolute. "You wouldn't do that. You can't." I laugh bitterly. "You have no idea what I'm capable of. You wanted to play games, Valerie. Well, I'm going to show you how it feels when the tables are turned. With that, I storm out of the room, feeling the adrenaline rush through me. I grab my keys and head outside, needing to escape the oppressive atmosphere. I take a drive, trying to cool my head, but my thoughts are consumed by my plan. I reach out to one of Valerie's closest friends, Mia, crafting a message that will leave no doubt in her mind about the truth. I include details of the affair, along with the evidence of Valerie's deceit. Sending it feels exhilarating, like a weight lifting off my shoulders. Hours pass, and as I return home, I find Valerie sitting at the kitchen table, her head in her hands. "I can't believe you would do something like this," she says, looking up as I enter. "What, telling the truth?" I retort, my voice cold. "You've made your choices, Valerie. You can't expect me to just sit back and let this slide." She stands up, tears streaming down her face. "You think this is easy for me? You think I'm not hurting? I never wanted this to happen. Then why did you let it?" I shoot back, crossing my arms defensively. "You had a choice. You chose him over me." "I know," she sobs, her voice breaking. "And I regret it every single day. But I want to make it right. I want us to work through this." "Work through this?" I scoff, shaking my head. "You can't just erase what you did. You can't just undo the damage." At that moment, my phone buzzes. I glance down, my heart racing as I see a reply from Mia. She's furious, demanding to know why I didn't tell her sooner. I feel a rush of satisfaction at the chaos I've unleashed. "Who's that?" Valerie asks, eyeing my phone warily. "Just someone who's about to know the truth about you," I reply, a smirk forming on my lips. "You wouldn't," she warns, her expression shifting to one of fear. I step closer, relishing the control I have in this moment. "You don't know me as well as you think you do. This is only the beginning, Valerie." Her face pales as the realization sinks in. "What do you mean? What are you going to do?" I take a deep breath, savoring the moment. "I'm going to ruin everything you've built. Your friends, your reputation, everything will be laid bare for the world to see. You'll feel the weight of your choices." "Please," she pleads, her voice trembling. "Don't do this." "I'll do anything." I chuckle darkly. "Anything? You should have thought of that before you jumped into bed with your boss. I'm done with your empty promises." I turn to leave, feeling a sense of empowerment wash over me. Each step away from her feels like a step toward reclaiming my life, my dignity. The betrayal will not go unpunished. As I step outside, the night air feels refreshing, a stark contrast to the suffocating atmosphere inside. I can already feel the anticipation of the fallout buzzing in my veins. This is just the beginning of my retribution, and I won't rest until Valerie faces the consequences of her actions. Tonight marks the start of my revenge, and I can't wait to watch everything crumble around her. The intrigue is alive, and the stakes have never been higher. The following week drags on, each day filled with the anticipation of chaos and the thrill of my impending revenge. I can feel it simmering just beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to explode. Valerie, oblivious to the storm brewing around her, moves about the house like a ghost. She tries to reach out, to bridge the chasm that has opened between us, but I am resolute. The trust is shattered beyond repair, and I feel no remorse for what I am about to unleash. I have taken the first step in my plan. Mia has spread the word among our circle of friends, sharing the details of Valerie's betrayal with anyone willing to listen. Each conversation echoes in my mind, a haunting reminder of the destruction I'm about to cause. I prepare myself for the final act, my heart racing as I think about how Valerie's life will unravel. It's Friday night, and I know that Valerie has plans with her boss, John, at the last night restaurant. I can't let this go on any longer. It's time for the final reveal. I grab my phone and shoot a quick message to Mia, letting her know to meet me at the restaurant. I want my friend by my side as I confront the betrayers, and she's all too eager to support my cause. When I arrive at the restaurant, the atmosphere is lively, filled with laughter and clinking glasses. It feels like a world apart from the turmoil brewing inside me. I spot Valerie and John at a table in the corner, leaning in close, their laughter ringing in my ears like a mockery of our past. Mia arrives moments later, and I catch her eye, nodding toward the couple. "Are you ready for this?" I ask, my voice low. "Let's do it," she replies, determination glinting in her eyes. We move through the restaurant, my heart pounding in anticipation. I can't believe this moment is finally here. As we approach their table, I catch a glimpse of Valerie's radiant smile, and it fuels the fire inside me. She looks happy, carefree, everything I haven't felt in days. "Valerie!" I call out, my voice cutting through the ambient noise like a knife. She turns, her expression shifting from surprise to horror as she realizes who is standing before her. John looks equally stunned, his eyes darting between us as if trying to decipher the unfolding drama. "What are you doing here?" Valerie asks, her voice trembling. "I thought it was time everyone knew the truth," I reply, my tone dripping with sarcasm. "Did you think you could just keep this a secret forever? Your little affair isn't just between you and John anymore." Mia stands beside me, arms crossed, a fierce look on her face. "You should be ashamed of yourself, Valerie. We trusted you." Valerie's face flushes with shame, and she looks down at the table. "This isn't the time or place for this," she murmurs, but her eyes betray her fear. I lean in closer, my anger boiling over. "You don't get to dictate the terms anymore. You've made your choices, and now you will face the consequences. Everyone deserves to know what kind of person you are." With that, I pull out my phone and start broadcasting the moment live on social media. I can see the horror dawning on Valerie's face as she realizes what I'm doing. I narrate the unfolding drama, recounting the story of her betrayal, her affair with John, and how she's broken my heart. "What are you doing? Stop!" Valerie pleads, her voice rising in desperation. "You're ruining everything. Everything was already ruined the moment you chose to betray me," I fire back, feeling the rush of vindication surge through me. "This is the least you deserve." As the comments begin pouring in from my friends and acquaintances who are watching the live feed, I feel a rush of power. The shame etched on Valerie's face is intoxicating, and I can't help but savor the moment. "Look at your life now," I say, my voice low and filled with venom. "This is what you wanted, right? You chose him over me. Now everyone will see you for who you truly are." Just then, a woman approaches the table, an older lady with fierce eyes. I recognize her immediately as John's wife, and the realization hits me like a punch to the gut. This is it. The final blow. "What's going on here?" she demands, her voice steady, but her expression is one of betrayal. "John, is this true?" John pales, the color draining from his face as he stumbles over his words. "I can explain, Margaret. It's not what it looks like." Margaret's eyes shift to Valerie, the betrayal sinking in like a blade. You too. I trusted you both." Her voice rises, filled with anger and disbelief. Valerie stands frozen, unable to form a response as the reality of her actions crashes down around her. I watch as the tears stream down her face, but this time I feel no sympathy. I relish the chaos unfolding before me. "Don't look so surprised, Valerie," I say, my voice dripping with sarcasm. "You've made your bed, now lie in it." Margaret's fury ignites like a wildfire, her gaze darting between John and Valerie. "I can't believe you would do this to me. To us." Her voice echoes through the restaurant, drawing the attention of nearby diners. "Margaret, please," John stammers, but his words are lost in the whirlwind of emotions. The room is thick with tension, the air electrified with shock and disbelief. Valerie tries to speak, but her voice is lost in the chaos. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for it to happen. But her words fall flat, drowned out by the sound of a glass shattering as Margaret slams her hand down on the table. You're both dead to me, she screams, her voice raw with hurt. You've ruined everything. As Margaret storms away, I take a step back, watching the aftermath unfold like a tragic play. The restaurant is silent, all eyes on the wreckage of Valerie's life. I feel a twisted sense of satisfaction, but it's tinged with an unexpected sadness. Is this what you wanted? Valerie asks, her voice trembling as she looks at me, betrayal and despair written all over her face. I wanted you to feel the consequences of your actions, I reply coldly. I wanted you to understand the weight of your betrayal. I never wanted this to happen, she whispers, her face crumpling as she realizes the magnitude of her choices. In that moment, I see the woman I once loved, broken and shattered. It's a sight I didn't expect to feel such sorrow for, yet here we are, two souls entwined in a web of betrayal, now standing on opposite sides of a chasm. You've lost everything, Valerie, I say, the bitterness in my voice cutting through the air like a knife. And you did it to yourself. With that, I turn to leave, knowing that the ties between us have been irrevocably severed. I glance back one last time, seeing her sitting alone, tears streaming down her face as the reality of her actions sinks in. As I walk away from the restaurant, the weight of what I've done hangs heavy on my heart. I've taken my revenge, but at what cost? The tragedy of it all echoes in my mind, a haunting reminder that sometimes, the paths we choose lead to irreversible endings. In the distance, I hear the sound of sirens, a fitting soundtrack to the chaos left in my wake. My heart feels heavy, not from regret, but from the realization that betrayal can destroy everything, leaving only sorrow in its wake. The intrigue has unraveled, and the final curtain has fallen on our once happy ending.